A few money mistakes that I made in my 30s that cost me everything and left me homeless. Let's get into it. So the first was not knowing the difference between an asset and a liability. Now, I know a lot of you believe you know the difference between an asset and a liability, and I'm not saying you don't, I'm just saying I don't like taking chances. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over what's an asset and what's a liability. So let's do it pretty quickly, right? So an asset is anything, this is my definition of an asset, anything that makes you money and puts money into your pocket from the thing. Whether you have a job or not, doesn't matter. If it puts money into your pocket, whether it's a business that makes money for you, whether it's a vending machine or a hobby, anything, as long as it makes money for you, whether you have a job or not, so it's not contingent on a paycheck, as long as it makes money for you, it's a what? Correct. It's an asset. That's why I always tell you guys, you keep buying these houses and then you're the person who lives in the house and paid the mortgage. It's not an asset. I know the banks are telling you it's an asset, but it's not. Well, it is an asset, but it's not your asset. It's the bank's asset. Remember my definition. It puts money in your pocket. So whenever your mortgage is due and you pay the mortgage, does the mortgage put money into your pocket or does it put money into the lender's pocket? Oh, it puts money in the bank's pocket? Okay, gotcha. Then a house that you live in and pay a mortgage on, it's not an asset, it's a liability. Now, of course, you can rent it out, have a tenant in there who pays you and pay the mortgage. Then it's an asset. So I'm not here to beat you up. By the way, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, welcome to the channel. Let me know if you're a new subscriber, I'll shout you out. And so I'm not here to beat you up, just here to, I don't know, educate you or just give you a different perspective. That's really it. So I didn't know the difference between an asset and a liability. So I continued to consume liabilities and call them assets. So when I got paid, I would buy clothes, buy shoes, buy jewelry. Yes, there was a time I used to wear chains and whatnot, a long time ago. And so I would buy jewelry with the money and then call that an asset. There were times where I would buy a car. I remember I bought a car. It's like, oh, you know, this car is an asset. Well, again, it does help. Don't get me wrong, having a car does help. But again, does it put money into your pocket or take money away? And if the answer is it takes money away, then it doesn't matter how you feel about it, because the rules of money are not emotional. Math isn't emotional. What do the numbers tell you? Take the emotions out. I heard John Hope Bryan say this, and it's true, and I'll never forget it. He say, never make an emotional decision. Typically, usually you make a bad decision if you do. So the difference between an asset and a liability was a huge error that I didn't know in my 30s that essentially left me homeless. So I don't want it to happen to you, so I'm just sharing it with you. Know the difference between an asset and a liability so that you can acquire assets and not acquire liabilities. Here's another one that put me in a lot of trouble and left me, well, eventually I became homeless because of me not knowing what I didn't know. And that is trusting that my job was safe and secure. So I was, at the time, I was a janitor. I had two jobs. So I was a nighttime janitor and I was an overnight blackjack dealer. Now, I enjoyed my job as a blackjack dealer, as a table games dealer in a casino. I had a great time. I had a blast. It was one of my favorite jobs I've ever had in my life. And then I was like, there's no way I'm losing this job. People don't get fired from here. They quit. I'm not quitting. This is easy money and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, I'm late here. Customer complaint there. I'm late back from lunch. You know, I have to miss a day because I got kids. And all of a sudden, those points started adding up. And then guess what happened? They let me go. And so out the door I went, believing that my job was safe and secure. So what did I learn? No job is safe and secure. There are jobs that are a little bit safer, but I implore you to understand or accept the idea that no job is safe nor secure. And you're better off believing that no job is safe and secure. All right, so let's keep it that way. All right, another thing that got me into trouble and left me homeless is having one income source. So because I believed that a job was safe and secure, I believed that that paycheck would always be there. And then all of a sudden, the paycheck was gone. That paycheck was adios. It was out the door and it never came back. And if I would have known, or if I would have believed that a job was not safe and secure, and if I would have understood that, then I would have taken precautionary measures so that, you know, whenever I did lose the job, understanding that one day I would be okay. I would have another source of income. I'd be able to make money through a business or an investment or a side hustle or anything. I just have money coming in from another source. But because I believe the job was safe and secure, that's the error a lot of you make. And you're doing it now. Those of you watching this video, this is your first time hearing this and you're starting to wake up going, wait a minute, this guy's got a point. No job is safe and secure. And because I know that, now I know that my paycheck is at risk. So, but I didn't know that. I didn't think about that. Nobody taught me this. I'm teaching you so you don't have an excuse. And more importantly, so you don't have to go through what I went through. And I believed that my paycheck was always going to be there until it wasn't. Not understanding that someone else was controlling my entire livelihood, because whoever could hire and fire me with the stroke of a pen could control everything in my life. Because all of my bills and all the things I bought or all the things I enjoyed, it all came from that one paycheck. And so with the stroke of a pen, that paycheck was gone, and everything that I enjoyed that was with it, it was gone also. And that paycheck it was adios, it was out of there. And so that left me in a really bad spot because I did not have another source of income. Now, this was going to touch home for a lot of you because, all right, I'll just say it. But I know you guys are going to feel some type of way about this because of how programmed you are. But one of the things that really got me into trouble and helped me to become homeless, something I did know in my 30s, by the way, don't make these mistakes, is I was a big believer in saving money. I would take extra money, if I had any, put it into an emergency account in the bank, and leave it there. And then I would do it over and over and over because that's what I was taught to do. That's probably what you were taught to do. But I would never do that today, and I hope you would never do that today. It's okay to have some money in the bank, but we're not just going to stack money in the bank for the purpose of just stacking money in the bank. If you're going to save money in the bank, what you should be asking is, what is the plan for this money? It cannot be just to leave it here. What is the plan? What am I going to do with this? And so I would stack money in the bank and leave it there. Not a whole lot. Just, I think I had maybe a couple grand. And then all of a sudden, lost my job, no source of income. There I was, homeless. So what did I do? Because I know you guys are going to say, well, see, that's what the emergency account is for. Okay, so I went into the emergency account, spent the money quickly on things that I needed. Not a lot of money. By the way, most people don't have $5,000 in the bank account. So that should tell you saving money is not a good idea because people can't save it. They don't make enough to save it. So a better idea, well, let's get through it really quickly. So understanding that, you know, that saving money was supposed to save me, all that, because saving money doesn't save you, it saves the bank. And so what happened is I used the money, and then by then, because you guys are going to say it's supposed to save you and then you get back to work, I couldn't find a job. When I did find a job, this was months later, it didn't pay a whole lot at all. So whenever I found a job, it was just a part-time, nothing job. So it didn't pay a bunch of money, couldn't sustain my livelihood with it. Well, I went to zero anyway, but it was hard to get a new place to stay and whatnot with it because, you know, it just didn't pay a lot of money. And so now looking back, because I used the money, still had no other money coming in. And then once that money was used up out of that account, they don't put it back. So if I would have known then what I know now, here's what I would have done differently. And then you guys let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. And hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, welcome to the channel. Here's what I would have done differently had I known. First thing, I would have understood that no job is safe and secure. No matter how much I enjoyed it, I would have never trusted it or married it. Secondly, I would have made sure I had an additional source of income, because I understand that a job's not safe and secure, which means my paycheck is not safe or secure. That's number two. Number three, I would not have stacked money in a bank account and left it there and just stacked it with the purpose of leaving it there. By the way, also, I would have, if I knew now what I knew, if I knew then what I know now, I would not have been out buying all these liabilities. That was the first one. We skipped over that, but know the difference between an asset and a liability. I would have been trying to acquire assets, not liabilities. Well, Sean, how can you do that? That's what you should have been doing with your savings account instead of saving it up and waiting on an emergency to happen. Don't manifest those things. Call it an opportunity account from now on. Now use the money out of the account to create cash flow some other way. Start a business, get vending machines, do a side hustle, flip a house. I don't care what you do. You need to find a way to make money that does not include you going to work. That's what your savings account is for. Don't even call it a savings account, call it an opportunity account, but that's what it's for going forward. So I hope these things help you. I wish I would have known them years ago whenever I was having hard times, but hopefully something I share could prevent you and your family from going through tough times as well. Hit subscribe, hit thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. Share this video with at least one person. Share it on your social media if you don't mind. Let people know there's somebody talking about real financial fundamentals from a perspective of someone who's been through some hard times, and you don't want to go through it, and I don't ever want to go through it again. So all of my conversations are about let's build wealth, let's get rich, let's change everything. So the rules have changed, guys. I've been saying since 2020, nothing's the same. So let this video sink in, watch it a few times, share it a few times. I appreciate it. Let me know if you're a new subscriber so I give you a shout out. And for those who are interested in being in the Middleman CEO Masterclass and you want to get that free training for the Middleman course, go ahead and put the word middleman in the comments below so I can teach you how to use your phone to work about 1 hour a week making passive income without having to leave your house. I've been doing it since 2020. I can teach you how to do it. Put the word middleman in the comments below. See you on the next video, guys.